What is going on, guys? It's Drew here, and this is just a little voiceover of the workout that I posted. I don't know if I'm gonna post this video before I post this workout or after. Not really sure yet. But this workout specifically, I was hitting biceps and the lateral head of the shoulder, and before I actually trained, I felt terrible. I had a headache. I honestly was like, man, should I take a rest day today and not go to the gym? Should I just go home? But I ended up actually going to the workout. Didn't take a rest day. I pushed through it. I hit biceps, which is one of my hardest muscles to train, and the lateral head of my shoulder. Those two muscles are kind of weak on my frame, so it was an important day. And as soon as I drank that water, got that music going, and I got my first set done, the headache, the sniffly nose, the tiredness, it all just went out the window. And this lift ended up being pretty good. Now, this video is specifically 3 pillars or 3, I guess you can say, clicks, just moments and techniques that I implemented that just changed my physique drastically. So I'm going to go over these 3 things that I've noticed that have transformed my physique from just being kind of an average gym bro to, I hate to call myself this, but being, one of the top natties, I would say. Not in the industry, of course, but around the area that I live in. But the goal is to be, one of the best natties ever. I'm only 20. So if I do 10 more years of this and I keep up this pace, it's looking pretty promising. So the first tip, and I think is kind of a no-brainer, and you might have been able to guess, is your training intensity. As a natural, intensity is so important, and not only do you need to train super hard, you need to honestly train super smart as well. So for instance, if you are training hard, if you're doing every set to failure, like you're doing a sprint, you're going all out, you can't do 15 sets per body part. You're probably only going to be able to do like 10 or less, especially as a natural. Because if you train too hard, you're going to have to give your body like a whole week before you can hit the muscle group again. But there's 2 sides to this story. You have a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't do this, I'm overtraining. Or you shouldn't train to failure because there's no way you're going to be able to recover from that. The day I started training to failure, from that day on, my gains improved drastically. Training to failure and just giving it your all in the gym on every set, it totally changes your way of thinking when you enter and step in the gym door. When you take a muscle to failure, you're sending the growth stimulus to your brain, and you're telling your brain, hey, we need to do something about this because that stimulus, that was crazy. So number 1, I would say, is your training intensity. If you haven't implemented a drop set or a superset, or you haven't taken a set to failure and you're a natural, you need to start now. Like now. You will get the best results when training to failure and properly resting and recovering. What does properly resting and recovering mean? It means getting good water, a gram per pound of protein, per body weight, or a gram per pound of weight of protein for your body weight. Eating carbs, timing them around your workout. And if you're trying to get bigger, make sure you're bulking, you're at a surplus. And if you're trying to lean out and slowly get leaner, make sure you're in a deficit. And also get more than 7 hours of sleep. I would shoot for 8, but 7 at least. So that's tip number 1, is train hard. You're going to get what you put into the gym. If you go in there and you do a lackadaisical workout, you're not going to make gains. So that's tip number 1. Okay, tip number 2 that I would have to say is probably, it's kind of more training related tip, and it's learning about tempos and mental cues in your head. So what I mean by that is, one mental cue that I've just kind of recently learned within the past year is, I know for my body, if I want to pump a lot of blood into a muscle, I'm going to focus on the contraction and the squeeze of that specific muscle. If I want to target and really try to tear down the muscle fiber to promote the stimulus response, tell my brain, hey, we need to grow. And if I want to really train for hypertrophy, I will focus more on the stretch, the extension, the negative portion of the rep. So if I want to pump blood to my chest, I'm going to just contract. I'm going to focus on the contraction and squeezing. But if I really want to tear those fibers in the chest to make it grow, I'm going to focus more on the stretch. And just implementing and understanding that will help you build a lot of mind-muscle connection. And if you have more mind-muscle connection, there's a good correlation that you're going to have more muscle on your frame. So definitely understand that idea as well. And the third thing that I would have to say, the third pillar, is everything outside or leading up to the gym, you need to take advantage of, especially as a natural. So you need to buy creatine. You need to buy lifting straps. You should buy either a stem-free or a stem pre-workout. You should buy protein powder. You need to buy meats at the grocery store. Like, I know a lot of people, they don't want to buy lifting straps, or they don't want to buy wrist wraps, or they don't want to buy creatine, or they don't want to buy pre-workout because they don't want to rely on it. They want to say, oh, well, I achieved this physique without it. But if you implement these things responsibly, they're going to enhance your physique and help you naturally. And you're gonna realize, man, why wasn't I doing this from the start? You know, I always was under the impression that I don't want to take pre-workout because it's cheating. It's I don't need it. I shouldn't need it. But then I understand the benefits, and I understand what it can do for me, and if I use it responsibly. If you know me, you know that whenever I'm taking a stimulant pre-workout, like something with caffeine in it, I don't take over a scoop. I usually only take a fourth of a scoop. Yes, I said a fourth. And look at the pump that I'm getting. And if you're not taking creatine as a natural, I'm sorry, but in all honesty, I hate to be disrespectful, why are you lifting? Like, some of these supplements, some of this stuff, you just need to take advantage of. You need to use. If you click this video because you want to transform your physique and you're not taking creatine, you're not buying protein powders, or you're not using lifting straps, or you're not getting access to a couple gyms that you like, or you're not trying new equipment you've never tried before, you're limiting your gains so much. So I understand that you want to stay as natural and as clean as possible, but if you're not doing anything to mess with your hormones, you are natural. Creatine is not going to kill you, dude. So take advantage of the natural supplements and the natural gear that you can use. By natural gear, I mean like lifting straps. Like, I'm not saying put on elbow wraps just to bench 315. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there are many benefits to some of this extra stuff that you think is flashy that will totally help your physique. Like, buy that $8 stringer. The stringer I'm wearing in this video was $8. Okay? And it makes my physique look insane. $8. And a lot of people judge me because I'm wearing a crop top or whatever. But it enhances my physique. It adds so much. So if you're thinking about, and if you don't even like pre-workout or anything like that, there's alternatives. You can take stem-free. It doesn't even mess with your brain. All it does is just vasodilate your blood vessels. So those are the three things that I would say. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Your training intensity is super important. And you need to learn what works for you regarding tempo and learning the whole parts of the full rep. The stretch, the contraction, the negative, and the concentric, the positive. So yeah, those are my 3 pillars that transform my physique. Upload every day. I'll see you guys. Be safe, take care, and train hard today.